Hello and welcome to Cover Reviews. And today I'm going to be reviewing Stephen King's Drunken Fireworks. So this story is about a man and his mother that have a little luck in winning the lottery. They win about $250,000, and roughly half of that when they get taxes taken out of it or so. And they go off and they buy a little place down by the lake and things like that. So they start going to to their lake home, and they sell their old home, things like that. And then they go, and at the 4th of July, they have a little bit of a firework display, or they let off a couple fireworks over the lake. Now there's a family across the lake that does the same thing, and the people across the lake are more wealthy than they are. The mother calls them, real rich, when they are just lucky rich. So they do the same thing, and it becomes kind of a competition between the two families. So each year they kind of compete to see who can put off the better fireworks show. So it starts off just kind of being simple things like cherry bombs and sparklers and things like that, but then each year it gets more and more intense on the type of fireworks that they let off. And each year the family across the street beats them. So, and when they win, the other family wins, they have a child that plays this trumpet that sounds horrible. And it always angers the other family. So, it goes on for about 10 years. And then we get to, I think, 2014 or 2015. And when they get to that year, they have gotten so big that they are going into, well, for the past couple of years, they've been going into illegal fireworks. So the fireworks they're putting off are spectacular, fireworks that really aren't supposed to be let off. But they're drawing big crowds just to come see this competition between the two families. So in that final year, they let off this firework that ends up pretty much the big family that always wins. They let off a fireworks show that lasts for like 20 minutes, and the crowd is just cheering and wooing and everything. And then it's time for the family that has the little cabin or lake home. They let off theirs. They only have one firework, and it kind of just looks like it's a box exploding. But then things unfold and things happen, and this thing turns into a flying saucer, this firework. And it cost them like $2,000 for this firework. And so it's let off, people are just going crazy over it. They think it's amazing, and even the man is like, wow, it was only supposed to be 8 foot wide, and it turns out it's like 20 foot wide. So he was really shocked to see all that. And then it keeps going on, and being that they're on a lake, it's not a very big lake, I don't think. And so where they're at that evening, it's kind of windy, and the flying saucer catches a fire. So the wind blows the flying saucer into some trees, and the year that this is taking place, wherever they're at, is having a dry spell, so the trees are dry. So these trees go up in flames automatically. They are, burning with really, intense heat. And a branch falls on the family across the street's house, or across the lake's house, and it pretty much lets the whole house up in flames, and it's just a big deal at that time. So after that happens, you come back into the story, and it is then they're in interrogation room or whatever you want to call it, and he's telling them that they're not going to press charges on him, but they found out that his home was also burned down, the man that's telling the story, and they said that there was a box of fireworks left beside the wood stove, and being that he is often drunk when he is letting off these fireworks, the cops think, well, he was drunk, he left them there, but he doesn't. The police don't understand why in the middle of the summer he would have the wood stove burning. So the cops start thinking that it was the family across the lake's children that put fireworks that they had left over, probably from years past, next to a wood stove, and then they filled it up and lighted it up until it got really hot. So that's kind of where you leave off the story, and I thought it was amazing. The man that's telling it, Tim Staple, I think he is, or Sample, I think he is really well at telling a story. He put out voices that I thought were very interesting, especially the man's mother. He did a very good impression of what I think she would have been like from the description that's given of her. And it's just, I don't know, it just has a really good voice to it. It has, and it was very short. It only took me about an hour and a half to listen to this. I just needed something quick to listen to do while I was doing some work around the house. So that's what I did with this, and I think it was a fun little story. I have it in the Bizarre Bad Dreams, but I just said, well, I'll just listen to it instead of actually reading it, because when you're working, you can't read. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really interesting, and I don't know, it was fun. It was different. It's not like a lot of other King stories in the aspect of there was nothing scary or there wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was just a rival, competition between two families that are, think they're better than each other, and it turns out that, rivalry can, lead you down a bad path. So, it was fun, and I think Stephen King, really did a good job, and that it was a 5 out of 5 stars for me. So that's my review of Stephen King's Drunken Fireworks. The audiobook is read by Tim Sampleton? Something like that. I'm probably saying it wrong. But as always, like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.